Morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's In Service to the Heart. And we're just going to sink right in. So, welcoming you wherever you are in your inner and outer space and way. Wherever, however you are, I welcome you here to this time. And I invite you to softly float your eyes down and just be present with what is, allowing, inviting, noticing, breathing, being, sinking into the very center of our innermost indwelling space where it all meets. So I invite you to feel yourself weighted in your body, really allowing a letting go into your foundation, relaxing into what's holding your back body. And just noticing how that reorients you inside the sphere, the field of your being. Breathing here and feeling the expansion of that central column that extends through and below the root, above and through the crown. And just allowing thy single eye, thy inner eye, that fixed gaze to be upon this center pillar of being, this central column, allowing with that continued attunement to our breath and our center, allowing a relaxation from any entanglements, enmeshments, and grasping, holding to the outer world. Notice that just by continuing to attune to that sacred center, there is an organic unwinding and relaxation and disentangling from the horizontal plane. And so we welcome all personal energy, all of your own personal energy here to this breath, to this central column of light. Just feeling yourself gather with intention and attention, just gathering yourself to yourself, welcoming yourself to yourself, inviting yourself to yourself, coming home to yourself right here and right now. Feeling a culling of personal energy back to your center and a culling of what is not for you right now, what is not for you at all, and letting that disintegrate as we reintegrate to and as our wholeness, our full self, the allness. Allowing a gentle dissolution, disintegration of what is no longer needed, what is not yours, what is not helpful. Now breathing into the heart, behind the heart, the sacred center, the heart that is the luminous heart, that which has never been hurt or exposed to the human experience. That heart behind the heart that is the wisdom seat of our very own being. And so energizing it, opening it with breath and attention. allowing it to expand and grow, this heart that is the portal to the soul and contains all wisdom, all love, all understanding, and more. And with each breath, feeling that sacred heart expand and emerge as we now, with each breath through the heart, let go into the flow of the infinite presence. Let go into the vast expanse of the eternal presence. Let go into the currents of the creative potentiality of the entire cosmos, of which each one is a living expression of, never ever separate, and is the vast, limitless, boundless, capital R reality itself. So surrendering to the infinitude that is not bound by time or space. It is not defined by the conditions of our day-to-day life or our bodies or our minds. It simply is the very existence of the cosmos itself, this limitless field that I choose to call spirit, from which all things spring forth, and I know it as love. Love absolute, love unconditional. And so attuning to love here, this recognizing and recognizing to the truth of the all as love. Love that is not bound by behavior or choice. It is not earned or achieved or acquired. It simply exists. It is the very fabric of the entire cosmos itself, the activity of the multiverse, and the very essence of the allness that I call spirit. So recognizing that spirit, that which goes by so many names, is love. It is all that there is. So knowing it here now in its vast, boundless formlessness, as all things, everywhere, even when it defies our human understanding and our human sight, we see with thy single eye the truth of the all is love. And so I know that it must be where I am. It must be expressing as me as Marianne, and it must be expressing as each one anchored in this prayer field. Knowing it as the allness, it is absolutely having its way, living, breathing, multiplying, dividing, expressing, shedding, growing, and living as each one's entirety, each one's multidimensionality, far beyond that which we know with our human senses, but rather throughout all the dimensions of each one's existence, all the timelines, all the lifetimes, all the concurrent, infinite expressions as each one's beingness that we know that they are. It's this very essence and vibration of love, unconditional, absolute, boundless, timeless, edgeless, quantum, infinite. It is the very substance, essence, fabric, fiber, and charge of each one's lived expression and experience. And so attuning now for yourself, as yourself, by yourself. Feel with curiosity what love feels like as you. What does it feel like in energy, in essence? What does it feel like in and as your body temple? What does it feel like as the very truth of your emotional body, your mental body, your full field of being and expansiveness from the very densest aspect of our human experience to the very lightest, most etheric expression of our quantum truth, and every space in between that's now charging every cell, the functionality of every organ, every system, the movement of every current of all fluids of the body temple, every aspect of this earth suit and beyond, knowing that in essence we are not contained by the physical form. The physical form lives inside of this much larger field of the soul as love. And so we attune with an as love. We are rooted in love. We live as love. We transmit love. It is the very transmutative quality of each one's being. And we allow it to shine forth right here, right now, as the fullness of truth. We allow it to move through the morphic field to bless the entire planet. We allow it to amplify the field of resonance and to have real impact upon ourselves, each other, the collective, and the whole field of humanity itself, and the more than humans, not bound by our relationships with humans. It is the transmutative energy and essence in our relationship with the more than human field, in form and in energy, as energy. The form and the formless worlds and realms, the seen and the unseen, the totality of existence itself. And so we rest here as love, continuing to attune to the deepest, widest parts of ourselves, to wake up the sleepy parts of our being, to help the forgetting spaces to remember, and to feel that truth that we are not alone and we are not separate, resting in true oneness. Formed and forged by and as love itself. So we know this is what is. And it is the blessing, this realization of truth as each one is the blessing that moves through every aspect of being. And allowing each one to live as the very blessing itself. And so I'm thankful and grateful to know this living truth as each one, to see it beyond the realms of conditions into the allness of the true nature, the true name, the true essence. As each one, it is what is. And so we rest in gratitude of what love can do. We allow it to go before, to emanate from each one of us, and to make the way clear, to allow this day, this week, this month, this year, this life to unfold upon the plane of highest possibility as guided by love, as opened by love. And we release this word, this declaration of truth upon the thermals of universal law, law of circulation, knowing that it returns amplified, that it circulates and expands It circulates and informs, it circulates and amplifies, and cannot be bound or held by the confines of our own human understanding. We allow our experience of being and receiving to be beyond our own imagining. And so, in truth and in yes, I know that each one here is blessed and the blessing itself. We let love be. We know it is done. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. So I invite you to sit with the very essence, the continued informing of every aspect of you by this frequency of love, and to return to it throughout the day, to feel, to sense, to notice, to energize the way of love. So it is.